What's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna take a look at this 2022 Dodge Charger. Big shout out and thank you to Feeney Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram for providing this new Charger for today's video. Check out their website, link down below. And the model that we're looking at today is a GT all-wheel drive blacktop, finished off in torch red, and has an MSRP at $41,600. Underneath the hood of this Dodge Charger GT, you're going to find a 3.6 liter naturally aspirated 6-cylinder engine. This V6 pumps out 300 horsepower with 264 pound-feet of torque, and it's paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, sending the power to all 4 wheels. The curb weight is around 4,200 pounds, and it can even tow 1,000 pounds. This has a fuel capacity at 18.5 gallons, and it can achieve 18 miles per gallon in the city with 27 out on the highway. The overall length is 198.4 inches with a wheelbase at 120 inches. Height is 58.5 and width is 75 inches. And then now moving on to the exterior design with the 2022 Dodge Charger GT. This is a very aggressive looking muscle car. I love the sculpture to the front end, it certainly stands out. We have a nice set of blacked out headlights with an LED DRL running around the entire rings that give it a mean design. You can see the black design in the center as well as the LED projector beams. And then we get black trim underneath the headlights and this upper grille. You get an aggressive mesh design to allow cooling to the radiators, then even a Dodge logo over on the far right side. The lower grille has a massive opening as well to allow maximum cooling. And then there's a very aggressive front chin spoiler running around the bumper. We get our fog lights on the farthest sides and then more sculpture to this front end. I love the way everything comes together up front, and then you can see how the bumper fades its way towards this hood. We get a functional air inlet duct right in the center of the hood to allow cool air to enter the engine bay. And you can see these smooth lines running around everything. Even though this design has been around for several years, it still does look like a pretty modern looking car with a lot of aggression. Moving to the side profile, you can see we get the optional set of 20-inch wheels. They're a split 5-spoke design in a gunmetal gray with the 2-stripe Dodge logo right in the center. We get a really sharp body line in the center portion of these doors that cuts its way from the lower side skirt all the way above the door handles. And then the overall side profile, it is a very large sedan with a huge hood and a huge trunk overhanging the front and rear ends. But I like all these sharp lines, especially how wide the rear fender arches look with these sharp lines. You can see the body colored door handles and then gloss black mirror caps with all black trim running around the windows, and then we get a shark fin antenna up top. You can also see how the front fender bulges a little bit. This car does have a lot of width to it, it really does stand out. Moving in back, I love the massive LED taillight that spans from one side to the other, and it really gives it a modern looking back. We also get a matte black spoiler up on top of the trunk lid that has a nice aggressive look, and then your GT logo over on the right side, a blacked out Dodge name written out in the center with the backup camera, and then the Charger 4-wheel drive logo right on this left side. You can see a mesh piece in the farthest side of the bumper as well as all of your parking sensors. We get some black trim in the lower diffuser with dual exhaust. So there's a good look at the exterior with the Charger GT. I've only ever checked out V8 ones like Scat Packs and Hellcats, so kind of cool to see more of a basic trim level. It's really sporty looking though with the red color and the blacked out accents. We have Dodge's key fob pretty normal. You can go ahead and lock it, and we do get remote start. So I double tap on the engine start stop button. You can get the V6 roaring to life. Has a nice little rumble to it, of course. Tapping the button, we can shut that off, and then keeping the car locked, I can just grab the door handle, pull it up once, and then a second time, and it'll unlock. This particular Spec gets the black interior color with the cloth performance seats, and you're going to see just a little bit of silver accents throughout. Moving our way to the door panel, we get this vinyl material for your armrest with a little bit of padding and stitching, then some stitching along this fabric insert. A grab handle, all of your window and mirror controls, as well as an aluminum colored release handle. You get a little bit of storage space down below, and then you even get power controls on the side of the seat. I really like how large these bolsters are, and you get a super cool design running through these inserts. Really cool the way everything looks, but massive back bolsters and contrast stitching. And we have more stitching going our way up to the headrest, and then a black leather steering wheel. And then now inside the Dodge Charger, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and start it up. Taking a look at the gauge cluster now, we have the analog tach over on the left side with your speedometer to the right, and then an LCD screen right in the center with a little bit of information. We can control that using the pad on the left side of the steering wheel. So right now we have a digital readout for your speed. I can scroll down and see vehicle information and go left and right and see all sorts of different vitals that'll come up in this car. You also can see your all-wheel drive. We have performance information as well. You can see 0 to 60 reaction time, which is pretty neat to see in this specific spec. A few more things come up, G-force meters. You see your fuel economy. We have trip information as well. Then some audio, messages, screen setup, as well as back to your main screen. On the steering wheel, we get the nice Dodge logo. Get some audio controls over on the left side for your cell phone, and then cruise control settings on the right, and steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. They're a small button back here. Underneath them on the back side, there's controls for radio and volume. Then we get the stock on the left side with all of your windshield wiper controls and of course your turn signal. We have headlight controls on the left side as well as a trunk button and the interior dimming switch. Then a little bit of brushed aluminum color design running around the entire gauge cluster and the center screen. We get a black rubber material for the entire dashboard with a Charger logo on the right side, 2 of your air vents in the center, and we can take a look at this full touchscreen display. On our climate control setting, you can easily scroll up and down to adjust your temperature. You have fan speed in the center, different zones, air conditioning controls as well. We have the media icon on the far left. We have more controls for heated seats and steering wheel. Then we have some apps that will pop up, performance pages. You can see all sorts of different things within the car. If I tap on this, it'll come up with more of the information, your gear, your power you're putting out, G-force, all those same timers that will come up. So definitely cool to see this type of parameters that you can measure within the car, even with a dyno. We have a settings icon with a few things that you can adjust. And if I go ahead and put the car into reverse, your backup camera pops up with some guidelines and then the parking sensors in the center. We can go ahead and put it back into park. We have physical controls down below for all the audio. We have a sport icon right here that will come up on the dashboard with that checkered flag. And you can see we also have the Super Track Pack, a few more buttons, physical climate controls. And there's a connection down below for power, and then a little bit of storage space. You get more storage on the right side of the shifter, and then that aluminum color design. We have 2 cup holders in the center with a slot that you can put your key fob or even a cell phone, and you can close that away. We have some black leather on this armrest, and then a little bit of storage space in here with another power outlet and a removable storage tray. More outlets underneath that. And taking a look at the glove box, pretty good size in here. You get a shelf as well as a nice bucket. And then one last look at the interior. This has been around for many, many years, so nothing really too new in here. However, it is pretty comfortable and a pretty roomy car with a little bit of technology. And then up top, we get a sunglass holder and garage door buttons. And then moving to the rear seat space, if I open up the door panels finish up just like we saw up front, and then you get the same cool design within this fabric seat. This is a 3-seat bench row, and then you can grab the middle seat and pull this down, and we get cup holders as well as an armrest. We get some storage on the back side of the front seats, and you even get climate control vents as well as 2 USB ports. So sitting now in the back seat of the Dodge Charger, this is probably one of the biggest sedans out there. There is actually a lot of room in here. I'm 5'11", and I have about 1 inch or so of headroom, and with the driver's seat set up at my height, I have several inches of knee room and even some foot room back here. So this is pretty roomy. Well, the seats don't recline back here. They're at a good angle to where I'm actually comfortable. And then to take a look at the trunk space, I can double tap the button on the key fob, or of course use the one on the interior. The trunk lid opens up, and we have so much storage space in the back of a Dodge Charger. Absolutely massive. You could fit probably like 5 or 6 golf bags in here. You even get a hook on this far side, a nice little light. And then with the seats folded down, you can see just how much more storage space you're gonna get in the back of a Dodge Charger. Going through these sides, seats don't quite fold down all the way flat, but you get a pretty large opening into the trunk to make this one of the most practical sedans out there. All right guys, so we are setting off now in the Dodge Charger GT. Now, like I said, I have never been in a V6 one of these. I've only ever driven the V8 and the supercharged V8. So a little bit interesting driving more of a basic car that's in this. I'm used to this being a muscle car with 600, 700, 800 horsepower. So this one, obviously not a sports car. It's more of just a normal big sedan. If you're looking for exactly that, a sedan that's really big with a ton of storage space. So So with all-wheel drive and V6, kind of a cool combination because a little bit more economical, obviously, than any of the Hellcats are ever going to be. And with all-wheel drive, you get that all-weather performance and stuff like that. So right now, we are full of potholes on this road. You can feel the bumps, but it does feel like a really solid car. I mean, it weighs as much as an SUV, so it's got a lot of weight to it. So obviously, the build quality should be pretty solid to be able to handle that weight. And you can tell it feels like something big. It feels kind of like a tank of a car, and you know, it has that feeling. Now, body roll and stuff like that, there's no performance in this at all. So I got to get my mind out of this being a Hellcat Charger or something like that. But for normal driving, you know, it actually is pretty comfortable and like nice to drive. I do like how you have such a huge windshield, such a good view out, big mirrors to see everything, and the visibility is actually really good. Left and right shoulder, nothing crazy about that at all. These seats are really comfortable, and I like the bolsters. They are huge. I am actually genuinely like stuck in this seat, which is a pretty cool thing to see in a car like this. Armrests are in a great place. I mean, it's an SUV that you can really just kind of sprawl out and be in a lot of comfort. So let's test out some of the performance. Got the cool gauge cluster going. We'll see the horsepower gauge. So we can go into the manual mode. We have a sport mode button. Well, first gear, it's got some good get up and go right off the line. Second gear is all right. Once you get into third gear, though, there's really no power. It's not a sports car like I mentioned, but it gets up to speed. You know, it's not like you're not going to be able to get on the highway, cruising speeds. You know, if we drop it down a gear, go into fourth gear on 45, like a passing speed on the highway. Okay, there's not really any acceleration, to be quite honest. So it's not a fast car. It's just kind of a good all-around. If you need to move people, move stuff, and just commute, this is kind of what you're going to look for. Now, this is kind of an outdated car. The interior certainly could use some updating. When you look at the newer Dodge products, the newer Jeeps and things like that, I mean, Chrysler's got some really nice things coming, and I'm sure the Charger is right around the corner from getting a complete redesign. So hopefully they do that. The interior certainly needs a major update. Exterior-wise, I still think it looks really nice, and then it is cool that you can get a lot of different engine and drivetrain components and different trims, basically, to really get one of these in the spec that you want. And then flipping over to the POV. So as you can see, I mean, it gets up to speed. But if you do kind of tone the car down, we'll take it out of sport, put it into normal automatic, you know, it still does give you a lot of what you want in a modern car. I like how simple Chrysler's screens are. I mean, it has everything you need right there, can easily adjust climate control and everything. So while it's kind of an outdated car, it still does give you a lot of what you want, and it's simple. And even when you do look at the newest versions of what, you know, Dodge and this group of cars are doing, it's simple to use but looks nice. So I think the next Charger for sure is going to look super cool, but still give you all the same functions that you're going to find even in the older one. And then with the Super Track Pack, when you do that, all the Dodge performance controls come up. You do sport mode setup. We can have the steering in normal and comfort. Comfort gets a little bit lighter, actually a lot lighter. Sport mode, a little bit more firm, which is kind of cool to see. Paddle shifters on and off. Engine and transmission goes into sport. Traction control, same thing. So pretty cool how this one does give you performance stuff. Launch control ready. You can adjust the RPM and everything like that. Drive mode, default. Pretty cool to see that for sure in this spec. It does ring out the gears just a little bit, but I think the transmission still does a good job managing the power. So it doesn't feel crazy sluggish or slow or anything, since you do have all of those gears to play with. So I think that's at least a nice touch, and with the all-wheel drive, you know, it kind of gives you that push and pull from the acceleration standpoint. So overall, Dodge Charger, we're definitely at the end of this life cycle. It's about time for a new one. But even a V6 all-wheel drive version like this, not a bad car for just kind of using it for a basic car. And it does look good on the outside. So I think that is about it then for this 2022 Dodge Charger GT all-wheel drive. Cool combination. I really do like the color, and the black accents on the outside are pretty sporty. Big shout out and thank you once again to Feeney, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram for providing this new Charger for today's video. Take a look at their website linked down below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video.